Well, okay, the new my dudes. Hey guys, it is Dave here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Abyss of the Sacrifice. In the last episode, just finished Arsenal's chapter for Treasure. So we were facing Arsena's last chapter called Treasure, where from her perspective, the girls had come across. They were trying to find a way through that wasn't so dangerous with the supposed meltdown of the shielding, but during Mickey's section, that the foundation's falling apart, and they're trying to find a safe section to try and get through different areas. They came across an area that had previously been shut off or restricted due to a previous disaster that happened 5 years ago, and we learned a bit more about Arsena's backstory, that her father died. So it confirmed that he's dead, that he died in an accident relating to this area that had been sealed off, which was covered up by the government. So everyone believed it was just a drill, or just like a faulty alarm or something like that. I don't exactly remember, but it was a cover up by the government. In fact, Chloe had confirmed that it was a cover up and it was actually a disaster. And so Arsena's father died in a sealed off hazard zone. And we learned a bit more about Arsena's backstory, where she gifted her dad a locket with one of their old family portraits in it. And to Arsena's shock, when she realized this was maybe where her father had gone and never came back, she found the locket, and we had to complete a dial puzzle to get into the sealed area, to get into the kind of sealed off area. And then Arsena's emotions got the better of her, and she couldn't cope, and she wanted to find her father. She found the locket, so she obviously wanted to find her father, but she was kind of getting mixed in between believing he's alive, but actually then she came to accept that he was dead at the end, when they all kind of, well, they haven't really talked about it. Arsena hasn't really revealed that her father was dead and her father was in there. They all thought Arsena had gone crazy and was trying to open the air and kill them all. And Arsena didn't really give them an explanation. She kind of stormed off and was crying in a separate room. We've kind of seen that we're kind of in a part of the timeline where Foundation is completely falling apart. So more shit is expected to occur with the rest of the girls' chapters. Got 3 more chapters for this part in the timeline, where Olga is Rift, Chloe is Name, and at the end of the last episode we found out that Jitka does have a chapter. It just didn't reveal itself till after we completed Mickey and Arsena's chapter for Weed. So yeah, that's unusual. But I've kind of been working my way down from the top, so I think I'm just going to continue that for now. So we'll go back to Olga's story, which no doubt will involve her family relationship, mainly with her father. No doubt something else is going to be involved, because all their stories are starting to link together. So yeah, I think more shocks and revelations are going to come, and it might get even worse. Okay. Rift. So it gives you the vibes of a rift in her and her father's relationship, but it could be completely different. Let's find out. So the girls wandered through the dark, narrow maintenance hall for an hour. Yeah, so they're still walking away through this abandoned area, which is very dangerous, but we at least prevented Arsena from opening up an area which was, well, actually she did open the door, but the hazardous resin block had always solidified over time, so any threat of nuclear radiation and toxins being brought out was minimal, and Olga confirmed with her radiation scanner that they were no longer in danger. So now we're just proceeding, all of them together, I'm assuming, but Arsena will clearly still be upset. Now remains to talk for over an hour, damn. After reaching her goal point, Olga raised her hand overhead. Oh, yeah, so Olga's taking point and heading the group at the moment. There it was, the exit. Oh, cool, smashing, let's go. I'm assuming it's just the exit from this area rather than the exit from Foundation. Okay, Mate. When Olga called out behind her, all the girls came to a halt. I think that was Mickey. Can we get out? Yeah, Mickey asked. Chotto mate, wait. Olga fumbled around until her fingers hit a metal lever. Oh, good. A door. Let's get it open. She grabbed the lever and used all her strength to turn it. With a rusty creak, it slowly moved. Oh, yeah, put some elbow grease into it. Strength. Power of friendship, maybe. Come on. Olga prayed. Please let this be the actual linear terminal. All right, so Olga's using her knowledge of Foundation to try and locate them to what I'm going to assume is a transport terminal for maybe a train system, linear terminal. If it's not, our only hope to escape will be ruined. Oh. Well, crunch time to find out if your planned escape will work. All right, so 1 hour earlier, so now we've gone back an hour. Okay. The party had just found a new information board. And we're looking for the next destination. Oh yeah, well the last time we kind of studied an information board was when we were healing Asuna of a radiation sickness, so it's been a while. Attention! Hi! yes, Olga Senpai or Olga Sensei. Okay, she's leading the group anyway, but also I noticed Chloe's not in the shot. Olga's serious tone of voice had all eyes on her. Miki, I think. Alright, is this maybe advice from your father or just someone you know? Oh, okay, so father might have mentioned this in case of an emergency. It sounds as if maybe this is an emergency evacuation procedure for the Foundation. Or abandoned. Oh, seems to be news to all of them. Miki, Asuna, and Jitka simultaneously showed signs of surprise. It's not common knowledge, apparently. Apparently so. Chloe will know. Chloe scoffed. Yeah, Chloe will know due to her hacking experience. Called it. Olga turned to Chloe in surprise. She's a hacker. She's clearly got a lot of information about Foundation that's clearly classified, but not everything. Rumors, okay. I suppose technically if it's standard level 7 class, if it's like level 7 high classification, maybe Chloe hasn't come across it. Okay, well, not, I guess. Of course, she's got to tease every now and again, Chloe. So tease meter needs to be appeased and filled up again. It feeds her, it controls her god complex. So Olga probably heard this from her father, who seems to be a very high-class citizen, but Chloe hacked. Olga defensively fought back. Okay. Then she added, alright, okay. She actually heard her father talking about the terminal with her mother at the dinner table. Oh. But for some reason, she wanted to hide the fact that her father was the head of the hospital. Yeah, we've heard that he was the head, the director. Yeah, well, she's not hiding it for any bad reasons or bad intentions, but well, she's probably still a little bit untrustworthy of Chloe because Chloe was looking around her father's office and medical supply area. But also, if Jitka finds out that Olga is connected to the head of the hospital and she recognizes that as the Dr. Sensei she knows, don't know how that's going to go down. That was why she added the little white lie. Chloe didn't try to pry into Olga's source. But she did ask an astute question. Okay, shoot. Good question, but if you may have answered that yourself, technically, if it's you dub it as an evacuation terminal, it's got to lead to some kind of exit, right? Yeah, Olga seems confused by that too. Olga fumbled over her words. Separate evacuation tunnel, independent from Foundation. Okay, nice. Not that she knew much about it, yeah.
聞いたことないな。
Maybe it is a legend.
有事用の避難場所だから一般には知られていないの。
Okay, well, considering the situation, there should have maybe been a mass evacuation, but I guess it's too late. If Chloe kept asking questions, she would conclude Olga was telling a lie. Just when she felt that danger was near, unexpected reinforcements came to the rescue. The others are prying.
ちょっとクロエ、うるさい。オルガの話を聞かせて。
Okay. It was Asuna.
ねえオルガ、それじゃあさ。
Yeah, because Asuna's, well, Miki is the most desperate to escape for some reason, I think, but she's still seeking revenge, as we've kind of seemed to have understood from achievements and some hints that she's seeking revenge for something. Well, she's seeking revenge for whoever did all this disaster and caused her to lose her legs, mobility at the time, and caused death of someone, I think. And Asuna just wants to leave now because her father's dead, her family's dead, and she wants to forget about her regrets. So does this mean
私たちの他の人が誰もいなくなったのってさ。
the reason we're the only ones oh, is she going to ask if people have been evacuated? Yeah, Miki continued her sentence.
みんなそのリニアで
It's because everyone else evacuated or dead?
どこかの避難場所に脱出したってこと？
It's a good point. Some people may have got away. Asuna and Miki were dead serious. Feeling their camaraderie, Olga nodded enthusiastically.
わからないけど、その可能性が高いわ。
Right, so the whole populace might not have been killed in some big mass disaster event. Some might have got away. Okay, right. The girls started to stir. But if that's the case, it gives them hope that hopefully they can get out too. They finally had hope of being saved from their dangerous situation. But Asuna decided to play devil's advocate. Okay, so she's also going to side up with Chloe and express or discuss the other option.
だけどオルガ、
Yeah, why didn't you tell any of them earlier?
だったらなんで今までそのことを言わなかったの？
Good point, good question.
ターミナルの位置はわからなかったから。
Okay.
私も本当の話かどうか判断がつかなかったのよ。
Alright, she said if it's an urban legend, but she hasn't told them that her father's talked about it or a high individual in the medical industry told her about it.
だけど今ね、これを見てて。
Okay, the terminal, the sign. So this. She pointed at a corner of the information board.
これを見て、ここがそのターミナルなんじゃないかって思ったの。
Pointed at a corner, so like, well, it's described as a linear terminal. It would suggest maybe that, but Miki, Asuna, and Jitka leaned closer to the board.
随分細長い区画ね。
Okay.
うん。通路や部屋にしては広すぎるし、広間にしては幅がないみたい。
Too big to be a hallway or a room and too small to be a hall.
そ
Okay.
うでしょ。それにこの大きさ。
It's the correct size you would expect of a transport terminal.
リニア車両ならちょうど3両分ぐらいの長さだわ。
Okay.
本当だ。それからここへつながる通路も全部封鎖扱いになっている。
Alright.
条件が揃うのよ。
Fair enough.
なるほど。
It's a logical conclusion, but is it correct? The four girls, everyone but Chloe, were now convinced that part of the map was a terminal. Chloe, well, if you're not convinced, you need to tell us your reasons for doubting, your Xing for doubt.
次はここに行ってみない？
Okay. Of course, at this point, Olga's suggestion was met with unanimous support, but... Okay, Chloe's going along with it for now, I guess. Olga led the party to a large clearing. Well, that area here, although slightly wrecked, does look as if it might be a transport tunnel, track, maybe. A bit like the underground system in London. Olga led the party to a large clearing. It was a terminal. There was a long platform and rails below it. Okay, so confirmed. It's a terminal, all right. But
間違いないが、これでは瓦礫の山だな。
it's damaged and wrecked. It's obviously a terminal, but all that's left is a pile of debris. Chloe was standing behind her. The three girls who followed gasped.
嘘。
Well, if there's been quakes and magma coming into the place, and there's also been some kind of big mass disaster before and stuff, and this place might have potentially been abandoned over time, makes sense.
めちゃくちゃじゃない。
But the way you guys are talking, you suggest it's been like this for ages.
電車もないよ。
Yeah, no train. Okay. The linear was nowhere in sight. But it also backs up the theory that people have got away on it already, and maybe there's a way to call it back. Don't know. And everything was in shambles. Was it destroyed from the big earthquakes following the strange incident? Yes, possibly. No, the debris looks too old and weathered to have happened. Oh, okay, so it has been abandoned and wrecked for a while. Fell into disrepair and then never got used/forgotten? This looks like abandoned ruins or an archaeological site, more like it. Olga quickly shook her thoughts away. No, this has to be the linear terminal, and she's not believing it. She wants to confirm for certain that it's not the linear terminal, or if it is, that they've got hope. Hundreds of people who were living in Foundation disappeared overnight. Yeah, but why? If they didn't escape through here, where else could they have escaped from? Or did they escape at all? That's right, Olga thought, giving herself courage. All of the other citizens of Foundation used this terminal to escape. I'm gonna X to doubt. I'm not sure. If we wait here, help is sure to... Yeah, Chloe ain't gonna wait. And I'm sure Arsena and Mickey would eventually get agitated from just sitting there.
ねえ、オルガ、どうすんの？リニアもないんだけど。
Yeah, and they're already starting to show signs of tension. When Arsena said what everyone was thinking, Olga had a reply ready. Okay.
リニアがないということは、他の市民はみんな
Okay.
無事にここから脱出したということだよ。
Maybe, but you can't say that for sure.
それはそうだけど。
It's a possibility.
脱出した人たちの避難が済めば、きっと誰かが気づくわ。
If they did.
まだここに私たちが取り残されているってことよ。
Maybe. In a mass panic and wanting to escape what they might have known as real disaster, they might not have done a head count or whatever.
そうすれば必ず救助を向かわせてくれるはず。 私たち助かるわ。
Maybe. The girl's eyes lit up. I think Olga's even doubting herself. She's just trying to keep the morale high.
ここにいれば。
Yeah, but I don't think Chloe's gonna stand for that. So then if we stay here...
ね、ここで救助を待ちましょう。
Okay, stay here and wait for help.
救援。
Okay. Mickey and Arsena stayed silent. A glimmer of hope flashed across their faces, as well as Jitka's, and then Chloe's gonna drop a reality check on yous. Then Chloe spoke up.
それはどうかな。
Yeah, I don't know about that either, Chloe. I agree with you at this point. She spoke slowly.
市民は本当は脱出なんてしていない。
Yep,
場合は
yeah, I'm also considering that possibility as well, Chloe. What if no one escaped and there's actually been a mass death of the populace? The implications of Chloe's statement made Olga intervene. Okay.
そんなわけないでしょ。
Really? All these earthquakes and possibly some kind of mystery disaster that's happened? Plus a nuclear disaster that killed Arsena's father 5 years ago? You don't know?
だって現にもう誰もいないのだから。
Yeah, but I suppose you'd have to question if they all died, where are all the corpses? But I don't know, no one else is here anymore. Chloe, perfectly calm, gestured to their surroundings.
そう。
It's true, no one is here, and there's signs that this place has been abandoned for a while.
だがこんな残骸みたいなターミナルから大勢の人間が脱出したとも思えない。
Okay.
あ、
Maybe some did.
まあ100歩譲って彼らが無事どこかに落ち着いたとしよ
Okay, play devil's advocate. So if they are somewhere safe right now.
う。で、私らが取り残されたことにも気づいたとしようか。
That's true. I'm guessing she's going to say, why haven't they come to rescue us already if this place has been abandoned for a while?
だが必ず救助を向かわせてくれるなどと。
But that too, you can't say for certain that they will definitely notice that you five are not with them. Olga faltered.
それは
She was about to mention her father. Yeah, I thought so. She's going to mention her father because a high VIP, like rich family person, as well as the head doctor, if he's alive and got out of there, he would probably take note that his daughter wasn't there. She was about to mention her father, but swallowed her words. She didn't want the others to think she was boasting about her father being important. When you wear that uniform from a prestigious school, I think they already get the vibes that you're come from a well-off family that might have high-end members of it. At least Asna would probably know that anyway. Come from the same school. So she came up with something else.
5人も残されているのだもの。きっと見捨てたりしないよ。
Okay.
5人しかだ。
Yeah, only 5 people. In the grand scheme of things, they might think, either not notice or say, they must have died. Chloe coldly fought back.
何万の市民が命からがら脱出したんだとしたら。
If millions of people were able to escape this place with their lives, would they notice 5 are missing?
たった5人のためにまた危険を冒して戻ってくるとは私には思えない。
It's sadly a possibility.
5人の犠牲で済めば小さいものだ。無視するだろうな。
It's a possibility.
そんな。
Well, if the government covered up a major disaster which happened in Foundation 5 years ago and resulted in the death of many workers, including us and his father, I think they wouldn't be too bothered about 5 young girls still left behind. Does that mean father would abandon me? Is that even possible? Well, we can only judge him on what we've seen in your flashbacks, and he didn't give you the nicest childhood and you didn't have the best relationship, but I don't think he would abandon you, but who knows? No, it can't be. But the thought triggered a memory, right? Here we go. We're going to learn about this rift. Here's a father again. Oh, wow. Oh, fucking wow. Really? You're questioning whether she's suitable for your family? She's your daughter, for fuck's sake, you asshole. Her father often asks her that. Oh, you must live up to the family name and get all the best grades and make sure you don't fuck up my tea when you try and sneak away from the maid to make it.
はい、お父様。
落ちこぼれは娘と認めない。役に立たないものはこの家にはいらない。
Wow, Dick.
はい、お父様。
Have I now become a useless daughter in my father's eyes? Can't answer that. The thought filled Olga with anxiety, and she couldn't come up with a snappy retort. Uh-oh, and that's going to lower the morale of the other 3. Chloe took the opportunity to continue.
どれだけ待てばいいのかもわからないのでは。ここで皆干からびる。
That is true. You could be waiting for days, weeks, and die of starvation and dehydration. And plus, if this place looks decayed and weathered over time, as in a long time has passed, it might be long gone. Making the others start to panic.
ここにいてもしようがない。お前たちもついてこい。
Okay, Chloe, so you have an idea if this isn't the correct place? Do you know where we should go?
下に戻るぞ。
Going back, okay. Just as Chloe was about to turn around, Olga went hysterical. Uh-oh, she's triggered. She's gonna explode with some feelings.
待って戻ってどうする
Well, get you at least in a more comfortable area / keep you with your supplies, because they've got to be taking supplies during their journey through Foundation, I've got to assume.
愚問だ
That's a dumb question. Well, yeah, no point in going on if there's nothing there for you. Might as well head back. Chloe faced Olga and gave her a sarcastic smile.
生き残る術を探す他のファウンデーションからの
Look for a way to survive is better than just waiting around. Good point.
当てのない救援を待つのではなくても
For help that might never come. She has a point.
何言ってるのこの間の揺れ見たでしょ
Yes, but you don't know for certain that anyone is alive / made it out of here or what.
下にいてはいつか埋まるわ
But there might be other ways to escape, Olga.
これ以上動き回るのは危険すぎるわみんなとここで待ちましょ
I wonder if one of these arguments is eventually going to lead to a decision that I have to make, whether they stay or go. Chloe lifted an eyebrow when Olga said, we. Ugh.
うお前いつリーダーに
I freaking knew it. I knew this was going to happen at one point, or I had a feeling it was going to happen, especially between these two, because both of them don't like being told what to do so much, or at least have a sort of leading characteristic, or like Olga's kind of like the mother of the group, whereas Chloe likes to be independent. So yeah.
Huh?
True. Well, everyone vote now. Who's the leader? Chloe looked at Olga with a mocking smile.
以前から気になっていたんだ
Uh-oh.
お前まるで誰もが自分に従って当然と思っているようだな
She has a point, but mainly the other three, Asuna, Mickey, and Jitka, don't really voice up their wanting to lead or whatever. So, but yeah, you do have a point. She likes to boss people around.
そんなこと
Technically, so do you, Chloe. So, hot in the kettle thing. For a second, Olga stumbled on her words, and then you thought, "Oh, actually, She quickly returned Chloe's gaze and spoke decisively.
私無理強いをしているつもりはないわ
Okay. She turned to the others.
ねえみんなも同じ考えだから一緒にここまで来たのでしょ
Well, yes, assumedly.
当然よ私はここを出たいだけ
Mickey's definitely determined to get out of here. Mickey spoke first.
私は
Yeah, Jitka's gonna be... I guess she's not sure what she really wants because she's led such a sheltered life.
一人が怖いから
Yeah, that's probably the main thing about Jitka. She doesn't want to be alone and trapped with her dreams and her thoughts because they hurt her. Jitka answered meekly and Asuna just shrugged.
ミキ以外は答えてないの
Oh, okay. Well, Asuna she got closure about her dad technically. I think Asuna's just afraid of being alone as well, maybe, but she won't admit it because she's tsundere. And she just wants to try and forget about her mistakes and regrets. Olga sighed at Chloe's provocative tone. All right, then.
では改めてどうするのがいいか決めましょ
Okay, sorry for interrupting you. Let's decide what to do next, okay?
うどう決める気だ
Between 5 of you, probably a vote.
多数決はどうかしらそれなら文句はないでしょ
True, seems fair. Chloe suddenly... Oh, apologies if there's a wee cut there. Just my camera died again with its battery, so I just replaced it with another one. So let's continue. So, Chloe is laughing out loud, lolling at the suggestion by Olga that they take a vote to decide whether they stay at the linear, what we think is an abandoned linear transportation hub or head back the way they came and try and survive a bit longer.
多数決だ。学級会議かここは。
The student council, good point. Also, Chloe is apparently the same age as these girls, but there's no indication that she's in a school. But oh well. Student council. Well, there's 5, so there'd definitely be an outcome regardless. Seems fair, but okay. Have you got a better suggestion?
何よ。
Mm-hmm. Olga felt angry that she was being mocked.
そういやあんた、委員長さんって感じだな。
She does. She's a bit of an Ojo-sama, and you'd think the way she acts, being very astute, very studious with her studies and studying medicine, maybe not her own will completely, but she does well in her grades, so you'd expect her to maybe be a candidate for student council.
ふざけないで。
Ooh.
こんな時に何よ。
At a time like... Oh. Jitka's had enough. Interesting. Stop fighting. Jitka's voice was unusually loud. Miki took the chance to make a suggestion.
どっちにしても、今日はもう休まない。
Okay, call it a day. Just rest for the day. Okay.
そうよ。私も疲れちゃった。そろそろ眠たいわ。
Okay. Oh god, this might upset Jitka. She doesn't want to go to sleep. Thanks to Miki and Asuna's comments, everyone settled down. Okay, so looks like they're choosing to stay and sleep in this abandoned transport hub. The 5 of them found their own spots to take a nap, curling up on the floor to sleep. That had become normal for them now. Well, you can't exactly find a bed anywhere or easy, like sleeping bags or whatever, I guess. I'm normal for them now. Even Olga was usually out like a log once she closed her eyes. But that day, she couldn't sleep. Well, very heated arguments between them. She could hear the others already breathing peacefully. Yeah, she probably feels that she is a bossy student council type and that she's always dictating what they should do, I guess. But also maybe she's angry that she's losing that authority. Meanwhile, she thought about her conflict with Chloe. Oh, we're in Olga's mind here. Chloe was right. I thought of myself as the leader. Olga was always taught to act like a leader by her father. She never thought it was a bad thing as long as she made the right decisions. But can you always make the right decisions without being biased in any way, Olga, sorry. She believed that it made sense for everyone to follow her lead. Bit narcissistic, is it not? Or overconfident in yourself? But if I think about it, no one has been following me. True, the only one that maybe has is Miki, but that's just for a desperation to get out. Chloe has been Chloe. Miki just follows her own beliefs. True. Yeah, Jitka does just seem to go with the flow, but it's just because I guess we'll find out she's not been dealing with a lot of social experiences. Nasa sometimes puts up a fight. True. I'm even starting to feel like everyone hates me. Uh-oh. Maybe I'm not cut out to be a leader. The thought terrified her. Would my father approve of a daughter who couldn't even lead to a group of 5 girls? Based on what we've seen, no, he wouldn't. But to be honest, I don't think your father's alive anymore, but wait for the game to prove me wrong. Forget that. I let myself get left behind while a whole population evacuated. Did they though? That alone is a disgrace. Uh-oh. It's her father talking in her mind. I'm sure it convinced my father he didn't need me. Well, and this is not good as well. She's thinking she's been abandoned, which means he might never come back to save me. True. Olga lay sleepless as she listened to the others' steady breathing. Oh. Okay, so it's morning. She quietly got up early before anyone else awoke. Uh-oh. Okay, what are you planning on doing then, Olga? Although she had drifted off a couple of times, she barely got any sleep. Oof. So maybe like 3 hours or something. Now she felt wide awake. She pulled out the health scanner from the bag she used as a pillow. Oof, even then, that's not very comfortable, but okay. Okay, she turned it on and the menu appeared. Okay, what are you scanning? You're going to scan yourself? Is she worried because of the way her thoughts are changing, and she's having a lot of deep thought about various things? She's now ill. Is that what she's thinking? It displayed information like the date and the temperature and humidity levels. Okay, but also radiation. Olga had made it a routine to check this. Oh, she's checking herself every day, or does it just mean the general environment?
あら
Uh-oh, something she's not expecting. Today, an additional memo appeared on the screen. A memo? Okay. Anastasia's birthday. What? Huh? Um, so this medical scanner, this health scanner, belonged to Olga's father. And it's got a note in it to say it's Anastasia's birthday, aka Arsana's birthday. Why would the father's medical scanner have information regarding Arsana's birthday and keep a note of it? Weird. Okay, Anastasia's birthday. For a second, she was confused, but she soon remembered that Anastasia was Arsana. Yeah, but why is it details of that in your medical scanner? Oh, Olga had entered Arsana's birthday herself. Oh, all right. Okay. So if she scanned Asana, she's treated her as a patient. So she's taken note of her date of birth. All right. Okay. Okay. I suppose that makes sense. On the first day they met. Wait. Oh my God. Are you now revealing that Asana and Olga know each other, but they're not telling the others? Oh no. Oh no. Right. Okay. No. My mind suddenly clicked. Wait. No. The first time they met was when she was ill. So that makes sense. She needed to take the information then. Right. Okay. Me being dumb. Overthinking. Back then, she had needed Asana's personal information to treat her radiation. When Olga asked Mickey if she knew anything about the patient, Mickey mentions a student ID in a nearby bag, and she entered that information. Oh, well, I could be wrong, and I'm maybe thinking too far ahead. But will they then say, "Oh, happy birthday, Asana," and Asana will be like, "It's not my birthday." Hmm. Olga then found the ID and scanned it. That was why Asana's personal information was recorded in the scanner. But to kind of counter that thought, it was mentioned that Asana was called Anastasia at one point by her father in the memories. So, yeah,
誕生日か
birthday, huh? Wait, yeah, also, was it Asana's birthday or her father's birthday when he disappeared? It was her father's birthday. Okay. She was suddenly filled with nostalgia. At the same time, she recalled the taste of sweets. Oh, we're going back in time again. Another bit of Olga's past. Cheap, crinkly paper wrappers. Chocolate and candy, encircled around colourful chocolates and hard candies. The artificial colours and sugary sweet, fruity scents not present in our family chef's cakes. Yeah, I'd imagine her coming from a doctor family, she wasn't allowed sugar and artificial sweets and flavours a lot. Always made Olga's heart dance. In her everyday life, she rarely encountered commercial sweets, yeah. But her birthday was different. A young maid always went into town and secretly gave her some, yep, without the father knowing. During her entire childhood, that was her only memory of a birthday present. Oh, her father never gifted her anything for her birthday, you douchebag. Being the hospital director's daughter, most people she didn't know well assumed that she was your stereotypical little rich girl, always treated to nice things, who always got what she wanted. But Olga's family was strict. Not only did she not get what she wanted, but she was taught never to ask people for anything. Only vulgar people desired material goods. Wow. As long as she lived in her house, she could only desire prestige and knowledge. Deep and harsh and heavy. and she had to attain this with her own hands. That was how she was raised. So no matter how old she turned, her parents never gave her anything. We always hear about her father being an absolute asshole. The mother must have been pretty much the same, very strict, but we haven't heard much about her. Once she started going to school, she learned about birthday presents from her friends. And they're like, what are those? But the only birthday presents given to her were the commonplace sweets from the maid. The memory of the taste of those sweets was something irreplaceable.
誕生日か。
As she reminisced, something caught her eye. Oh, what? It was a chocolate bar in her bag. Oh, she had a chocolate bar in her bag. Was it from the vending machine? She had gotten it when the girls had divided the food supplies. Oh, okay. She remembered how Asuna was on the fence between this chocolate bar and something else. Oh, you're going to gift her the chocolate bar for her birthday, aren't you? In the end, she chose the other snack. But she seemed to regret giving up the chocolate.
これをアスナにあげたら喜ぶかしら。
Probably. Olga's face lit up. She quietly placed the chocolate bar by Asuna's pillow. Aww. It's a nice gesture, Chloe. Olga, sorry. Then she left. Uh-oh. Hey, Olga, don't go alone. There was still time before the others woke up. Well, what are you doing? Until then, she decided to look for water. Okay. If she could find water, it would make the others a little more enthusiastic about staying here. True, but don't go too far, I guess. Then they might feel like staying here. But they also might freak out if you're gone when they wake up and waiting for help. She left the camp alone.
私の写真がない。
Oh. Oh. Shit, that's not good. Apologies, there's a bug flying around. If you got blowing sound in the mic there. Oh no, right. Well, this is going to be even worse because I'm assuming at this point Olga is still not back. And apparently her Asuna's photo is gone. I'm assuming it's the photo that was in the locket. It's gone. My photo is gone. Shit. Asuna's voice rang out. When Olga got back, the campground was in turmoil. Oh, shit. Oh, no. So she might be walking into a huge accusation here.
どうしたの？
What's wrong? Asuna spun around in a rage.
写真がないの。私の。
My photo is gone. It would be the one from our locket, right?
写真？
Yeah, you haven't showed it to anyone. What photo?
家族写真よ。途中にちゃんと挟んで。
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Okay, so she had another family photo and it was inside of her student ID booklet. Okay. Right. Okay, so that maybe backs up the theory that that was her student ID book.
カバンに入ってたのに。
Which I had in my bag. Okay, well, check your bag again. Chloe walked over. Uh-oh.
何騒いでる？
Okay, what's all the fuss about?
あんたじゃない。私の写真隠したの。
She is a bit of a troll and a tease, but I don't think she would do that.
は？何言ってる？
Miki and Jitka showed up with sleepy faces as well. Okay.
アスナ、何事なの？
She did just woke up, I guess.
どうしたの？
I was waiting. I was like, I'm not convinced you finished your sentence. Oh. And the theory I have about Jitka possibly doing things in her sleep that she doesn't remember. It could be Jitka that did something but she doesn't know or remember. Okay. Asuna suddenly aimed her anger at that. Oh, yeah, she's getting angry with everybody.
あんたたちなの？誰が撮ったのよ？
Well, technically the only one that's really ever looked at your student ID was Miki, and Olga's admitted that she did too, so... Jitka won't like this.
いきなり何よ？人を叩き起こしといて。
Miki's just like, just over a photo? Asuna's anger just frightened Jitka and annoyed Miki. Olga stepped in to mediate.
ちょっとアスナ、証拠もないのに
True.
いきなり決めつけるのは良くないわ
It's not nice to jump to conclusions. Slight typo there, but okay. True. But you'll probably be the most sus because you were away. But Asuna glared at her.
何オルガ一言だと思って
True, she's going to accuse you as well. She's going to accuse everybody here because there's no one else to accuse. Why are you acting like this doesn't involve you?
一言だなんて思ってないけど
Hmm.
この三人じゃないならあんたってことよね
Yeah.
え
Yeah. You accuse. I accuse you as well.
違いない
It has to be you. Oh boy. And there's another reference to her being Miss Goody Two Shoes and the leader made by both Asuna and Chloe.
そういうやつって私信用できない
And so Asuna's just admitted she doesn't trust anybody. Great.
何
Olga was taken aback when Asuna started pointing fingers at her.
実はあんたみたいなのが一番底意地悪かったりするのよね
Wow, that's rich coming from you when we've learned certain things about your past that you might regret in the form of that girl that we don't know her name of because we've kind of possibly ruled out that Asuna is Anastasia as well, so we don't know the name of that blonde girl. People like you are always the worst deep down.
アスナ
Wow, you've certainly caused a rift in your relationship with Olga, Asuna. Maybe this is the rift the chapter's talking about. Asuna was on edge. Yeah, I guess I don't blame her though. Her father's dead. They don't know that. Technically, she's not spilled the beans on that. And one of her only things about her family is missing. That was what Olga told herself as she was falsely accused. She tried to find a way to appease her. It's not going to work.
まずは落ち着いてそれから順を追って
It's good advice, but she's not going to listen. Before she could finish her sentence, Chloe interrupted. Uh-oh.
ところでオルガあんた今までどこ行ってた
Yeah, I was waiting for this part. If Olga's been away, they're surely going to ask her, where have you been?
ああ水場を探しに
Convenient. Chloe raised an eyebrow with interest.
つまり私らがまだ眠ってるうちに
True.
一人で起きて歩き回ってたってわけだね
God, Chloe, you really like causing trouble, don't you? But it's true.
そうだけど
Well, as far as we know at the moment, all you other guys were sleeping.
私はアスナが騒ぎ出したんで目が覚めてここまで来た
Sounded the same for Mickey and Jitka too, but again, the thoughts about Jitka, not sure.
この二人もだ
She jutted her chin at Mickey and Jitka.
あんただけだな誰にも気づかれず
Uh-oh.
今朝アスナの荷物に触ることができたのは
Oh dear. Her voice deepened as she stared Olga down.
そんな私はただ
She was about to mention the chocolate bar, but stopped herself mid-sentence. Uh-oh.
ただ
You just what? Chloe glared harder at Olga. She had noticed the self-mocking smile playing on Olga's lips. Oh, so she's going to blame Chloe, shifting the blame on Olga. It was true Olga had approached Asuna's bag this morning. She didn't take the photo yet, but if she admitted to that, she would be pronounced the thief. Yeah, that's true. That fear crossed her mind, but it was too late.
そうよ
Shit. Asuna has taken Chloe's side. Chloe's right. Asuna shouted.
やっぱりオルガよ
Uh-oh.
だって今朝私の荷物のそばにチョコレートバーが落ちてたの
Oh, crap. So she noticed, but she's come to the wrong conclusion. Uh-oh. And so obviously Asuna knows that Olga had the chocolate bar.
この間あんたが分配の時に取ってたものよね それは否定できないってことはやっぱりあんたね
Uh-oh.
返して私の写真返してよ
She didn't have it. It wasn't her.
ちょっと待ってよ違うわ私じゃ返して返して返して返してよ
Uh-oh. Olga could barely defend herself under Asuna's rage. Uh-oh, and Asuna can get violent, I think. Unexpectedly, it was Chloe who came to the rescue.
そんなに決めつけるなよアスナ
Asuna be like, but you said Chloe, it's gotta be her.
うるさいあんたは黙ってて
Uh-oh. This is getting ugly.
だったらこいつの荷物を調べればいいのさ
Well, suppose. But if you do that, then certain things Olga wants to keep under wraps might be exposed.
それだけのことだろ
Yeah, Olga won't want her bag searched. That's all you have to do. Asuna finally stopped yelling. Then she thought for a second before speaking again. Oh no.
じゃあオルガあんたのバッグの中見せなさい
Then you might want to search Olga yourself, but I don't know about that. Olga won't want her bag searched. Before Olga could respond, Asuna snatched up her bag. Oh boy. Oh no. This is where things might get interesting. Tired of being treated like a criminal, Olga stood up for herself.
じゃあいいわよ気の済むまで調べたの
Oh. Okay. Are you then gonna regret it?
人の家族写真なんて撮るわけないじゃない
I would never steal anyone's family photo. I think I have a thought about what might possibly be, but let's see. Never steal anyone's family photo.
出てきやしないわよ
You won't find it no matter how long you search. But not even a minute passed before Asuna pulled something out of the bag and held it up.
あったわ
Here it is. Shit. Olga, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that you left your bag with the others when you went off to go search for water. So either you're lying and you did take it, or someone has planted it there on you. Here it is. What? Everyone looked at the object in Asuna's hand. Well, that is apparently Asuna's student ID booklet. Okay, but where's the photo? It was a student ID booklet. Asuna flipped through the pages and a photo fell to the ground. It was a photo of a young girl with a man and a woman who looked like her parents. Uh-oh. The young girl definitely resembled Asuna. Shit.
ほらあったじゃない
Shit. Olga, are you a lying bitch? Or have you been framed? Who knows? So apparently she found it in your belongings, Olga. What do you got to say?
どうして
How? Olga was confused. She recognized the ID booklet in Asuna's hand. It was the same one she had scanned while treating Asuna's radiation. But she had put it back in Asuna's bag once she had finished. Uh-oh. I'm sure I did. Did you? Her resolve started to falter. Back then, she was nervous about treating a patient for the first time. Oh no, so this might be a complete misunderstanding. Maybe I forgot to return it. She's doubting herself again. But could I have really put it in my own bag without Asuna noticing it was missing this whole That's a good point. You would think Asuna would have noticed before now that it was missing. That's a good point. If that were the case, it seems strange that Asuna only realized her photo was gone now. Yeah, true. As Olga remained silent, Asuna spat out a single phrase.
最低
Shit. Then she turned to Chloe.
クロエあんたここ出てくんでしょ
And the group is starting to...
あんたの方についてくから
And the group is totally starting to distrust each other, or they might at least distrust Olga, and maybe this is the wrong decision to leave, but looks like it's happening. Chloe, I'm coming with you.
オルガのことはもうなんか信じられないし
Shit. She spoke loud enough for Olga to hear. What a childish way to act. All Olga could do was bite her lip. Now I've completely lost Asana's trust. Yeah. I didn't mean to steal her photo. But did you, or are you being framed by something that we don't know about yet? But at this point, anything I say will just sound like an excuse. But I think you might regret not voicing your innocence if that's the case. Behind Olga's troubled back, Chloe quietly gazed at the floor. You bitch! You're making yourself look as if you've done this somehow. A small smile spread across her lips. Chloe, have you framed her? In a few minutes, the group was ready to move. But also Chloe might be smiling just because she's got her way somehow. Freezer room. Okay, is that like for food supplies? No one said a word. Chloe turned to Olga and smirked. Wow, Chloe, you bitch. Olga just pressed her lips shut. Because of that morning's incident, the tides had completely turned against her. Yep. No one said they wanted to stay in the terminal anymore. When Chloe prepared to leave, the others followed suit. Olga reluctantly did the same, but she felt wary about Chloe's suggestion. The freezer room. What could be down there? Oh my god, I've just realized. I was thinking maybe it's for food supplies. No, it's not. If you remember, guys, from the first episode with Chloe, which I think was about episode 3 or 4 in the series so far, she's determined to find information about a burial number about someone she knows, which suggests someone she knows that's dead. Is she trying to find the body of whoever she's trying to find? She's trying to find the burial number, and is this is the freezer room like a morgue, like in Danganronpa? Is she looking for her dead friend? Or it could be food, but just thinking out loud. Freezer room, what could be down there? She was, of course, upset about her idea getting vetoed. But more importantly, she can't trust Chloe, at least now either. Chloe's indecipherable motives raised her suspicions. Yeah, well, actually, did Chloe reveal she was a hacker to the others? I can't remember if she actually really did. Suddenly, Olga thought to herself, Chloe has always been suspicious. True. In fact, I've had a strange feeling about her since the day we met. When Olga had trouble getting medicine for Asuna, Chloe got into it very easily. Chloe had suddenly called out and lent a hand. Yeah, just conveniently showed up. Back then, Olga had considered an act of kindness and didn't think much about it. Yeah, now you're sus. But the more she got to know Chloe, the more she realized that Chloe wasn't the type of person who acted out of kindness. Nope. She never acted unless there was something in it for herself. Correct. Then why was she near the medicine? Yep. Why did she help Olga? Because I'm guessing Chloe must know the director and can see the resemblance in Olga and has maybe clicked 2 and 2 together that they're related. Why did she help Olga? After that, she seemed to have just naturally joined the group. But what if that also was part of a bigger plan? Once Olga's suspicion started, they wouldn't stop. The freezer room. If Chloe wants to go there, it must have something she wants, yeah? Now I just need to figure out what. Olga resolved herself to this task as she followed behind the group. Oh shit, so they're all starting to double cross and suspect each other. It's starting to get very interesting. Slash suspicious. Oh. Damn, this is a very long chapter so far. I thought it was maybe going to end there, but I guess not yet. So they are in the freezer room now, but, well, Asuna, you would expect it to be cold in a place called the freezer room. Whoa, it's chilly. As soon as the girls entered the room, they were encased in an icy cold.
ここから日持ちのする食料を集めるんだ。
Oh, okay, so it is a freezer room for food supplies. But apparently Chloe has got something she wants down here, so we'll soon see, I guess. Gather food supplies from here that will keep. Well, won't keep for very long, they'll defrost over time. This was the first thing Chloe said. But Olga felt suspicious. That idea sounds like camouflage for something else. Yeah, there's something else she's after at the same time. I think Chloe has a different motive for coming here, and while we all blindly search for food, she's gonna do something else and just blend in. Yeah, I'm guessing Olga's going to decide to go with Chloe or follow her. She will be looking for something else. This was just a gut feeling, but Olga felt like she was right. She decided to pretend to search for food like the others, but keeping an eye on Chloe, while actually searching for whatever Chloe was after. Oh boy, so here we go. So we've got to try and find what Chloe's looking for, I guess. The 5 girls split up and began their hunt. Neither Mickey, Arsena, nor Jitka seemed even slightly suspicious about Chloe's order. But Olga found a place to search where she could keep Chloe in her sight. While she rummaged for food, she sometimes peeked at Chloe. In the beginning, Chloe didn't do anything suspicious. But as everyone focused on their search... aha! Okay, what's going on? What's she doing? Well, that's been disturbed, but whether it was like that in the first place, aha! Olga caught a glimpse of something interesting. Okay, well, do elaborate. Clarify. Chloe was reaching for documents rather than food. She grabbed a thick folder that looked like a food inventory. Then she flipped through it from start to finish. Would the inventory in the freezer room only contain food? It didn't look like she was reading it. And she seemed to focus special attention on the page corner. She's looking for more codes and ciphers. Once she flipped through one folder, she reached for another and repeated her steps. Yeah, she was just raiding documents for information and deciphers. She seemed to be searching for something on the page corners. Yeah, clues.
やっぱり
Yeah, I knew it. Olga's suspicions were confirmed. Chloe is up to something. Chloe isn't after food. She must be searching for something written down. But what? It wasn't going to be easy to find that out. The only documents appeared to be where Chloe was standing. You need to get Chloe away from it. It would be too unnatural for Olga to walk over and look. How could she discover what Chloe was looking for? Chloe would notice if she stared too long. So she pretended to search for food while she thought. Just then... Oh. What? Huh? Oh, okay, interesting. She spotted an unexpected object in a frozen food box. Okay, what is it? A book. Oh, we found what Chloe's actually looking for, a book. She pulled it out to find a thick book on medicine. What is a book doing here in the freezer room? And I'm guessing this might be what Chloe is actually after. Feeling like it was some kind of omen, Olga opened up its chilled cover. Then she quickly flipped through the pages.
これは
There's the cipher. This is what Chloe is actually looking for. What's this? She found a handwritten mark on one of the pages. So I wonder who's left these marks. Could it be orange? Or is this a code that maybe Olga's father's written in the medical books, but never told Olga? What could this be? It looked like some sort of scribble, but it could also be someone's signature. It's numbers. Could this be... The thought passed through Olga's mind, yet it's what Chloe's searching for. Could this be what Chloe has been looking for? Yes! I don't get it. But her gut told her that this mark wasn't just some meaningless scribble. Probably not. So you're gonna hide the book away from Chloe? She glanced around. None of the other girls were looking her way.
よし
This is your chance to do what? With the book in hand, she quietly slipped to a corner of the room. Okay, Chloe's probably going to notice. I'd imagine Chloe, being a hacker and a kind of like very stealthy / careful individual, she'll be watching you four together. But okay. Okay, there was an electrically heated garbage can, also known as a simple incinerator. Oh my god, you're going to burn the evidence. Well, I suppose if Olga takes a note of the cipher in her mind, then the only way Chloe can get her information is from Olga. Power move by Olga. So there was an electrically heated garbage can, also known as a simple incinerator. Hygienic efficiencies like this were always in facilities that needed to dispose food. Olga glanced at the book in her hand. If she threw it into the incinerator, it would turn to ashes in minutes. She thought to herself, is she just doing this out of spite or revenge though, or is she going to take a note of this number just in case? Thought to herself, if Chloe is looking for the mark in this book, yeah, it probably signals the next direction they need to go for her to take, yes. Now it all makes sense. Chloe is always confident about her next step, but she's never indicated her final destination. Yeah, that's true, because she's following clues. Ah, that makes sense. Maybe this book is the key, or at least the key for this part anyway, to reaching her final goal, yes. And you need to find out what that is. We all do. I don't know what that final goal might be, but by dragging us all along, it could lead you to danger. She must be trying to involve all of us in it, yeah. It also seems like she doesn't necessarily want to be saved, unlike everyone else. That's kind of true, I suppose. Everyone else has kind of signaled that they definitely want to get out of here / survive, but Chloe's been pretty silenced on that. Like, mum's the word. Knowing Chloe, if her goal was something that benefited all of us, it wouldn't necessarily benefit her. Or something that benefited all of us, she would have been using her eloquent way with words to steer us in that direction all along. Yeah, but she's actually keeping quiet and leading you there like bait. So I bet our motive differs from just getting out of here alive, yeah. And I doubt it has our best interest in mind, possibly. If I destroy this book and Chloe's behavior changes, but if that's your play, you would need to make sure Chloe sees you destroy this book though. And that would also cause everyone to trust you even less. I might understand what she is trying to do. Is this a choice? Oh god, is this gonna be a choice by me? Oh boy. This should do it. She pressed the button to start up the incinerator. Surely though that's gonna make some noise. Sighed. In 10 minutes that book will be turned to ashes. Oh boy. Is she gonna do it? Oh shit. Oh, we looking from another perspective now. Is this Chloe? A few minutes earlier, Chloe was panicking. Yeah, this is from Chloe's perspective. For a moment, Chloe was panicking. She couldn't find the object she was looking for, and Olga's already found it, I believe. She was sure the last marker she found pointed to the freezer room. And if the pattern continued, the marker would be on the corner of a book on medicine. Since she couldn't find any book like that, she searched the food inventory files to see where the book was, but I'm guessing it won't be marked on the inventory because it would be suspicious. But she couldn't find anything. Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense for a medical journal book to be in the food storage. Strange. Chloe clenched her teeth, but she couldn't give up. If the marker wasn't here, her plan would be at a standstill. Are you going to tell us a bit more about this plan? Calm down. Yeah, I wonder if this is going to lead her a bit more about her backstory. Is it something to do with Orange and just, hacking level 7 security of Foundation systems and personnel or whatever? Calm down. She tried to get herself to breathe. The marker has to be in this freezer room. Yeah, but you're not looking in the right spot and someone's already beaten you to it. Maybe it's hidden among the food. She glanced around. Mickey, Jitka, and Arsena were each searching for food. But you haven't seen Olga yet. But Olga was nowhere in sight. She slipped away. Oh, you suddenly realized that she's not in sight. She quickly scanned the room and found her in a different area than before. That's... Olga was standing in front of the incinerator. Uh-oh, she's been caught. Chloe had a bad feeling about this. Haha. That little... She must have caught on to me. Chloe gritted her teeth. If that's the case, I have to hurry. She quietly crept to the electricity control. Oh my god, really? So is she going to stop it in time? Or, well, damn. So who wins in this scenario? Because if Olga succeeds and burns the book, then Chloe's screwed / has to rely on Olga to find the next marker, to get the next marker. But if Chloe succeeds and prevents her from burning the book, then it completely ruins any trustworthiness the group can have with Olga. This is interesting. She quietly crept to the electricity control panel, next to the document shelf. So who are we helping here? Are we going to help Chloe stop this? Then she stuck a small metal shard that she had picked up into a crevice on the panel cover. She quickly removed the plastic cover and revealed the freezer room's electric controls. Isn't this going to kill all the lights then? And also the freezing power? Huh? Uh-oh. She picked out one particular control circuit and slowly cut into the controls with the metal shard. Bam! There was a loud pop as the lights went out. Oh no, well, I thought her plan was maybe this might kill the incinerator's power, but which might be the case, but also it means that she can now get to Olga without the other three catching on. Eek, that's Jitka, I think. Jitka screamed in the darkness. Oh yeah, Jitka won't like being in the dark. Arsena, what's happening? Power outage by Mickey. Arsena and Mickey called out anxiously. That's Olga. Olga spoke up too. Chloe's the only one that didn't say anything. Oh, okay. Before long, the dim emergency light switched on. What was that? Arsena sounded mad. Bullshit, you cut the power. Something must have short-circuited. I heard a pop from the ceiling. Chloe came walking over. Of course, the short-circuiting was her doing. While the room was wrapped in darkness, she had managed to quickly replace the control panel's cover. Oh, so it covered up her tracks of sabotage. But despite the nonchalant look on her face inside, she was anything but calm. So did Olga succeed? Haha. Screwed up. Olga's unexpected actions had thrown her off guard. She had only meant to shut off the power to the incinerator, but she cut the power to the lights. But she mistakenly cut off the electricity to the entire room. Oh, so does that mean the book wasn't burned, though? Alright. She turned to the others. Yeah, you're getting desperate, Chloe. Arsena asked anxiously. Possibly, but nice save, I guess. Mickey shivered. Is it just me or are they already messed up? Oh, we're getting colder? Uh-oh. You're getting colder. And why do I get the feeling that the electricity might be involved with the door? You're right. Olga rubbed her arms.
みんな急いで外に出るぞ。
Okay. All 5 girls ran for the door. Alright. Okay, we're running for the door, huh?
ダメ、開かない。
It's not opening.
手動で開けるときには扉の脇についているコックを使うんだ。
Okay, this seems too simple.
動かないわ。
It won't move. It's frozen shut.
凍りついちゃってるのね。何か温めるものを探しましょう。
What's that? The pool of water is frozen.
すぐ凍っちゃった。
Froze up in an instant. Can we take this icicle? It's too cold to touch with bare hands. Okay. So we can go to the right. Cardboard boxes are stacked up. Huge shelf here. Lots of stacked up. Let's go to the right again. Oh, if we're playing as Olga. Control device. Obtained a work glove so we could pick up the water.
これバッテリーじゃない？
Looks like a battery. It does indeed.
固定されてるからここから動かせないわね。
Yeah, it looks like it's wedged in.
ああ、だが何かの役には立つだろう。
Still be useful for something.
寒いよ。今室温は何度くらいなのかしら。電力が落ちる前はマイナス20度くらいだったの。
Aye, yikes. Minus 20. Not good if you stay in there for too long.
道理で寒いわけね。
Is it this room's control device? Well, the buttons probably shouldn't touch them. Into spring. Okay. Cords are tangled. Damn it, we can't see any obvious signs of sabotage. So, what else have we got? Oh, broken bottles. A broken bottle is in shards on the floor.
寒いわね。早くここから出よう。このままじゃ凍えちゃう。そうだな。同感だ。
Okay, so we obtained some ice. I'm just gonna take a wild. Well, maybe I could use the spring. The spring looks useful. Handle is. Oh, okay. Anything back? No. Okay.
ミキ、ガラスのかけらに気をつけて。うん、大丈夫。
Oh, we obtained an empty bottle. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So we must need to use the spring on the battery. That would make sense.
クロエ？なんだ？何か用か？ならはっきり言え。
Okay, spit it out, Jika.
クロエ？そんなきつい言い方をすることはないで。それをそこにくっつけてどうするの？ああ、電気を通して温めるんだ。
Oh, so that means we're playing from Chloe's perspective then.
へえ、すごいね、クロエ。
Okay, so we wrap the spring around the battery, so we've got some heat. And then from that, I could melt the ice. Not exactly sure if that's what I'm meant to do. A thin, frozen strand of ice that came from the faucet. I had a feeling I need to combine that with the bottle somehow, yeah. So put the ice into the bottle. Then do I combine that? No. Or maybe spring is hot to the touch. No? Okay. Spring is hot to the touch. Looks like it can warm something, yes. So maybe place the bottle there? Ah, there we go. So that will melt the ice inside. The bottle is hot to the touch.
お湯がこぼれたよ。瓶に栓をしないとダメね。
Pick the bottle back up, it's lost its heat. We need to seal the bottle. Ice into the bottle. Am I missing another item? Wait, hold on. So, is there something I not picked up that I can use to seal the bottle? It's to use the glove to keep the water in. Wait, whoa. Did I see something shiny? You bastard. Obtained a cork. There we go, that's what I was missing. Right, okay, so, combine the cork with the bottle. Close the bottle with ice in it with a cork. Now, let's heat up this bad boy. I just realized there was a command in the corner. The bottle is hot to the touch. Shoot, did I do it wrong? Ah, it's too hot to hold with bare hands. The bottle. Then you got to pick the bottle back up. The ice melted into hot water. And now we can pour the hot water onto the handle. Time to pour this hot water. Do it, Olga. Right. Success! Yay! Winning! So the door to the freezer room's open. They can get out. Gus practically tumbled out of the room. Okay, you still appear to be in the cold room. Their teeth felt numb with cold. Yeah, everyone want a frozen dinner of Asuna Mikino. You would have just several hundreds of years later, they spot 5 girls frozen. Asuna complained. The others warmed their hands with their breath, or stomped their feet to warm up their bodies. Okay. Chloe's gone. Oh shit. What? Oh, Chloe stayed behind. Chloe stayed behind to get the book back out of the incinerator, I suspect. Olga had a hunch about where she was. She was probably still in the room looking for her book. If I go back now, I might be able to catch her in the act. I'll go check on her. Asuna might stop her saying, I don't trust you. She walked back into the freezer room. Uh-oh, here we go. Finding Chloe by the shelves, Olga started to yell with a berating voice. But then... Time to lend me a hand with what? What? Plop. Chloe dumped a pile of frozen food into Olga's hands. Olga, Chloe's trying to cover her tracks. Olga's convinced she's suspicious. And Chloe knows this. Chloe knows that Olga is onto her. So she's trying to act all innocent and support the group by giving them food. Chloe, you bitch. Chloe's dumped a pile of frozen food into Olga's hands. Convenient. True, but I still suspect that you have either already retrieved the book that was in the incinerator, or you're going to once Olga leaves. She grabbed another pile of food, or maybe she's hidden the book in the food. Chloe strode out of the room first. Chloe might be testing Olga if she sees that Olga goes to the incinerator to check. Olga quickly caught up. Didn't go check the incinerator. God damn it, Olga. Dividing up the food. The other girls were shocked to see Chloe's arms filled with food. My God, and this is going to make Asuna and all the others love Chloe even more and lose more. Olga's going to lose more influence. God damn it. Enough for us. One more pile. She dotted her chin at Olga. Okay. Okay. Asuna seems happy despite her complaining. Okay. They're all starting to double-cross each other. On Chloe's signal, the girls clambered around like they were at a flea market. Only Olga was in a dark mood. She stood on the sidelines and glared at Chloe from afar. Uh-oh. Did you, though? Did you? Did you get confirmation that that book was burned to ashes? We will see, Olga. I get the feeling she's going to corner you and, threaten you if that's the case. At the same time, Chloe interacted with the others while remaining very much aware of Olga. Oh no. And is this bad for you for that to be discovered, Chloe? Yep, she did. Oh shit. Things are gonna get dramatic and real soon. A new slip of paper was in a pot. God damn it, she got it! She got it! Oh no, Olga thinks she succeeded, but she didn't. Chloe got the marker. The corners were partially burned, but the information was still intact. Olga did put the book in the incinerator, but Chloe saved it in the nick of time and stayed behind to rip out the new marker. She continued to whisper to Olga in her mind. So this kind of confirms Chloe definitely has something to hide, and it sounds as if she might be willing to use / maybe sacrifice some people to get what she wants. And so Olga and Chloe definitely don't trust each other anymore. Fuck. Oh no. Stop pretending to be friends, to be continued. Oh, man, that was a long episode. Save complete. Perfect. Yeah, that was quite a long chapter, that one, for Olga and Rift. So it wasn't what I was thinking. I mean, obviously we can tell there's a rift between Olga and her father, but this is the rift forming now between Olga and Chloe. but technically at the moment it's also kind of Olga with the rest of the group because Chloe is succeeding in manipulating the others so far. But also, as you can see on the screen, guys, there's now a new chapter opened up on Olga's timeline for Contagion. And it's got, well, actually, the markers, I don't know, there's certain markers and some of them are appearing in orange, but that might be because it's new. But yeah, so Olga's got the next progressing chapter, which is kind of interesting. But as we've seen from Jitka, others may just pop up at random depending on whose story we do or whose chapter we do. So anyway, that was quite a long episode and a lot of interesting stuff happened, and the drama and the plot is unfolding. Some of the girls are starting to not like / trust each other. So yes, the real shit is starting to begin, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode with me of Abyss of the Sacrifice and that you're enjoying this series so far, guys. Sorry, I just need to adjust my mic and also myself. Hope you enjoyed this episode, guys, and you're enjoying this journey of Abyss of the Sacrifice with me through this playthrough. If you enjoyed this episode in the series, then think about giving this video a nice, beautiful, big thumbs up. It really helps the channel out and really supports me, and I very much appreciate it. So thank you very much, guys. Also, if you haven't already, if you're already either a regular viewer or a new viewer and you've just come across the content and you haven't yet thought about hitting that subscribe button, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, guys. I mean, do it. It's a beautiful red button. Why would you not want to click subscribe and see whatever happens in the rest of this game of Abyss of the Sacrifice, plus all the other series that I've done? Come on, you know you want to press that button. Anyway, guys, and also once you do that, if you click the notification bell to enable all notifications, then YouTube will notify you whenever a new video goes up on the channel, guys. Plus, if I send any notifications for going out live streaming or any other notifications or posts I want you to let you guys know about. Also, guys, in the comments below, let me know how you think this episode went and just your thoughts on the story so far. But please don't post any spoilers to any future events in the game, guys. I don't want to be spoiled, and I'm pretty sure anyone watching doesn't really want to be spoiled either. So yeah, we will continue the Abyss of the Sacrifice in the next episode. See if things get better with Chloe and Olga, or I'd imagine they're going to get a lot worse. But also, we'll see what happens with the rest of them, guys, in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.